Most celebrities have interesting stories about what they did before pursuing acting. As the cliché goes, many of them were food servers and took whatever job they could to get noticed in the industry, from commercials to modeling and voice work. But in the case of other celebrities, they actually all served in the military in some capacity for varying lengths of time before making it big as actors. Adam Driver. With a career on a rapid upward trajectory today, Driver first got noticed playing the eccentric boyfriend of Lena Dunham's character on Girls. But he has since become an A-lister with roles in BlacKkKlansman, Marriage Story, and, of course, as Kylo Ren in the Star Wars sequel trilogy. Driver enlisted in the United States Marine Corps not long after the September 11 attacks, where he served for almost 3 years before medically discharged due to mountain bike accident. He continues to support the troops through the Arts in the Armed Forces, non-profit program he founded that seeks to provide free arts programming to active duty service members, veterans, and other support staff and their families. Rob Riggle. On screen, Riggle is known as a funny man, having worked as a correspondent for The Daily Show and appearing in movies like The Hangover, The Other Guys, Dumb and Dumber 2, and Step Brothers, as well as in recurring roles on sitcoms like Modern Family and doing voice work for animated movies like Lorax. Riggle joined the Marines in 1990 and was working towards becoming a naval aviator before deciding to leave flight school to pursue comedy full-time. Bea Arthur. She wasn't just a force to be reckoned with as Dorothy on The Golden Girls. Arthur herself was a tough lady who served in the United States Marine Corps Women's Reserve in 1943 during World War II. She worked as a typist at the Marine headquarters in Washington, then as a truck driver and dispatcher in North Carolina. In 1945, she was honorably discharged after having reached the ranks of staff sergeant. As if that isn't impressive enough, Arthur then studied to become a licensed medical technician. She eventually left to pursue acting. Montel Williams. Many don't realize that, while Williams was a great daytime talk show host when he was on the air, he actually perfected his gift for gab while working with the U.S. Marine Corps and the U.S. Navy, where he spent 15 years of his life. With degrees in general engineering and international security affairs, he worked as a cryptologic officer and reportedly talked to a lot of his fellow Marines about issues they were facing. He was honorably discharged at the rank of lieutenant commander, but not before being bestowed many honors, including the Meritorious Service Medal, Navy Commendation Medal, and Navy Achievement Medal. Jimi Hendrix. Before he became an icon in the music scene, Hendrix chose the army over a prison sentence after he was caught in stolen cars on multiple occasions. He played his guitar often while stationed in Kentucky and eventually formed a small band. He completed his paratrooper training and received the Screaming Eagles patch. But it was clear his heart wasn't with the army, and he was given a general discharge under honorable conditions. Clint Eastwood. Eastwood had a lot of personal experience to draw on for his many intimidating roles, like Dirty Harry and other movies. He was drafted to the United States Army during the Korean War in 1951, when he was just 21 years old. His ex-wife Sondra Locke has said that he served as a lifeguard at Fort Ord during his time there. Eastwood, of course, went on to become a superstar in the Western genre, and at 91 years old today, he still remains a respected and active director and producer, and continues to act too. Sean Connery. Best known as the first actor to portray James Bond in a movie, Connery had a long and prolific career in acting until he decided to retire from the business in 2006. Born in Scotland, he joined the Royal Navy in 1946 when he was just 16 years old and trained at the Naval Gunnery School and in an anti-aircraft crew. An ulcer led to his discharge 3 years later at the age of 19. Sadly, Connery passed away in October 2020 at the age of 90. Gal Gadot. In Israel, where Gadot was born, it is mandatory for people to serve. So, when she was 18, she spent 2 years in the Israel Defense Forces, where she worked as a fitness and combat readiness instructor. The training very likely helped her perform beautifully in roles like Wonder Woman and other movie roles where she had to show off physical combat skills. Gal Gadot also studied law and international relations in college, which means there are plenty of brains behind this beauty as well. In 2004, she was named Miss Israel. Drew Carey. A comedian and this generation's host of The Price is Right, Carey isn't just all about laughs. After being expelled from university for poor academic performance, he enlisted in the United States Marine Corps Reserve in 1980 when he was 22 years old. There, he spent 6 years as a field radio operator. He then pursued his career in comedy, including improv shows like Whose Line Is It Anyway? And his own show, The Drew Carey Show. He also joined forces with other comedians in 2003 to lead a comedy tour for the troops in Iraq. Ice-T. Real name Tracy Lauren Merrow, Ice-T became famous as a rapper, singer, songwriter, and music producer. But he has since pivoted to acting, starring in the long-running series Law and Order: Special Victims Unit since 2000. He had a rough upbringing and lost both of his parents at a young age. In 1975, when he was 17, Merrow enlisted in the United States Army to escape a life of crime and to have the means to support his new daughter. It was while he was in the Army, assigned to the 25th Infantry Division, that his interest in hip-hop music began to brew. He served for just over 2 years before receiving an honorable discharge so he could focus on being a single father.